Mississippi Prince race. This guy was really good. He was first up and the distance was too short. He came from stone last, wide, and was going to the line better than anything. So second up to this distance is going to be more to his liking.
We know how game Stuttering is. He's here as number 2, Rob Heathcote, Mark Duplessis, and 59, Maxi.
Yes, that could be an anchor over the final part, given that he hasn't won over this distance, but I do think he'll find the lead. But you can't give him a dig because he'll get going. Yeah. So if he switches off early around Doomben, he could get away with it.
And he looks just beautiful today too. A big chance is number 3, Jan Aikenhead and Chris Mean.
Yeah, struggling to run a place in these races on a Saturday. Maybe he needs a drop back in class.
Here's the favourite, Alburq, BJ Smith and Boris Thornton.
Yeah, he probably just felt the pinch a little bit first up. So he's giving you the 1600 second up, but I think the tempo is going to be perfect for him. He won't be overdoing it, relaxing nicely, midfield, 4th or 5th. I think it's a great race for him.
Aton Of Delight will be number 6 from the Glenn Thornton stable, Damien Thornton.
He came to town off some dominant poly track wins at the Gold Coast and ran 4th at Eagle Farm behind ABBA, beaten around about 5 lengths. The run was just okay.
Count the Coin is from the Kevin Kemp stable with Tegan Harrison.
Look, if you're having a trifecta, you've got to put him in. He's a horse that's going to sit back behind on the rails, taking all of the shortcuts.
Without Revenge, up to a trip to suit here, David Van Dyke and Ryan Maloney.
Yeah, his trials were fair, and I was expecting more first up. He ran 7th in the Mississippi Prince race, and he didn't do anything at all, so we need to see something from him today.
Deep Sceiva's third up, I think. Tony Maddie Sears, Ben Thompson.
This mare hasn't won for a long time, and it just seems she's going through the motions at the moment.
And Sienna's Award is the last one, Harold Norman, Sammy Collett.
I'm giving her a roughies chance from that inside barrier.
All right, a rough chance there for Sis Award. Alburq, the $2.70 favourite. Bit of money for Stuttering. Rousseau's pretty solid there also. And Without Revenge, another Maxi.
Yeah, I'm starting to sort of warm up a little bit to Stuttering here.
Yeah.
Mark Duplessis knows this horse like the back of his hands. He's been on him a lot. He can miss the kick. He hasn't been straightforward throughout his career, but they've had so much fun with him being a 6-time winner.
Yeah, and he's just genuine. Like he tries. He's got a genuine heart.
Yes, he will give 100% all of the time. And if he leaves on level terms and just goes to the lead under his own steam, then he can win the race. But I think Alburq, I've always been a little bit of a fan, in particular drawing well around Doomben, where he can get that Doomben sweet spot on the fence, cut the corner and be there to challenge turning into the straight. 5 to beat 7, Count the Coin. He's at $14, and I think all multiple bet types should be looking at Count the Coin here. Rousseau, the toppy, he's been solid in the market, suggesting that he's going to be even better suited over this slightly extra distance rather than that shorter 1350 first up. And Stuttering, definitely he's got to go in everything. So we should be able to narrow it down a little bit here to 5-7-1-2.
Yeah, I agree, Maxie. I mean, I'm tipping Rousseau because I can see nice improvement in him in the yard, but I also liked him on form. But today, definitely, depth of colour in his coat. He looked fitter rather. He stripped fitter was what I was trying to say. He's not a stripper, Maxie. He stripped fitter. It's a cross. But you could definitely see some really nice improvement. And, of course, the big thing for him is stepping out to the mile here today. But Stuttering looked beautiful, as did Alburq. All right, let's get to Munzie for a market update.
So 4 in the barrier here, Stuttering, about to move in with a big chance and a Ton of Delight. We're strapped by Steph Thornton, trained by Glenn Thornton, being ridden by Damien Thornton. Boris Thornton riding Alburq here for Brian Smith. Now, Stuttering's gone in, and we've got 3 to move forward. Without Revenge about to come up, and a Ton of Delight and Deep Sceiva, and we'll be right to run. So Alburq favourite ahead of Rousseau. Third pick is Stuttering. Bit of late money for a Ton of Delight. 12 back to 9.50. Now, Ben Thompson on board Deep Sceiva, and they've gone in, and a Ton of Delight will go forward and complete the line for Damien Thornton. So the favourite's Alburq in gate 3. And red light turned on for the third at the mile. They're racing. Alburq away well. Favourites in front early doors. Stuttering has roused along. Handy the inside. Likewise in Sienna's Award. Without Revenge out 4 wide is rolling forward. And Deep Sceiva's even deeper. And she goes right up there as well. In front now with Stuttering. Second Without Revenge. And third 3 wide Deep Sceiva. Up into fourth here in Sienna's Award. Alburq is back 5th now. 60 inside Rude So. A length and a half to count the coin. A big chance and a ton of delight is last of all. Stuttering's in front. Second Deep Sceiva. Third Keeners Without Revenge. A length and a half to Sienna's Award. And the favourite Alburq is 5th over on the outside of Rude So. They're clear from Count the Coin, a big chance, and last of all, there's A Ton of Delight. They've got 8.50 left to run, and Stuttering in front by 3 parts here. Second, Deep Sceiva. Third is Sienna's Award. Fourth, the outsiders Without Revenge. A length further back, the Russo on the fence. Alburq at a 6 on the outside, about 5 off the leader. A length and a half, a big chance, and Count the Coin. And A Ton of Delight's a length and a half away. 500 metres left to run. It's Stuttering by a neck here still. Second, Deep Sceiva. He's getting mobile, and Alburq going forward now. He's going to have to come 4 wide, though. Without Revenge edging out 3 wide. Russo's improving. Count the Coin towards the outside. 300 metres left to run. In front of Stuttering. Second, Deep Sceiva. Alburq is running home. And further back to A Ton of Delight making ground. Count the Coin down the outside. Just in front of Stuttering. Alburq on the outside. Running home is A Ton of Delight. Stuttering, Alburq, A Ton of Delight. They hit the line, and Stuttering has held on to win from either Alburq or A Ton of Delight. Followed by Deep Sceiva. And then Rudiso, Count the Coin, without Revenge, Sienna's Award, and a big chance at the rear. Stuttering.
Stuttering has got the money by around about a neck. Close for second and third. Alburq, then A Ton of Delight, and Deep Sceiva back in fourth. And then we had Count the Coin. We need to have a look at the toppy again. He seemed to be in awful trouble. Russo trying to get clear running from the top of the straight. Up until that point, it was a 10 out of 10 from Jimmy Orman, but I did note that he was getting a bit of pressure from Without Revenge on the outside, and he sort of stuck there under that big weight and wasn't able to be fully tested until very late. But Stuttering, he came out of the gates a little bit keen, but Mark had a good hold of him. He had a bit of company from his former stablemate, Deep Sceiva. But around Doomben, hard up against the rail, Stuttering has kept on strongly for Mark Duplessis and Rob Heathcote. Alburq, good again. He had his chance there. A Ton of Delight was good, and then Deep Sceiva back in fourth place, and a bit of a forget run for the top weight, Russo. So 2, 5, 6 and 11 after the third event here at Doomben as we go to Hawkesbury.